everyone and welcome back to my channel. So the day of reckoning is upon us. It is the final day of spooky season today. Very sad. So I was actually a bit stumped on what to film for the last video because I had a lot of ideas that I never got to. I had some ideas that kind of came to me like mid-October that I wanted to do, and I had some ideas that I thought would look good and just didn't work, or I couldn't think of a way to do them, so I was in a bit of a pickle. So anytime I am in a bit of a pickle or needing advice, I go to my sister because I know that she will tell me if she thinks something is rubbish. So I was a bit stumped whether to finish on a gory one, a glam one, a creepy one, a glam. I say glam. I did. So Bethany just said that she thinks that I should finish on a gory, spooky one because it's Halloween, and I haven't actually really done a lot of gory ones this year, so that's what we're doing today. So this Halloween look actually came from my sister. It was her idea and I jumped on it because I thought, oh yeah, that's great. So today's final spooky season look for this year is going to be inspired by Lady Stoneheart, and if you don't know who she is, let me enlighten you. So Lady Stoneheart is a character in the Game of Thrones book series. She didn't appear in the TV series, which was a bit controversial. We don't do it, it's a bit controversial. If you haven't read the books, Lady Stoneheart is Catelyn Stark, or Catelyn Tully, reincarnated after she was killed at the Red Wedding in the books. Also, when she was killed, she had her throat slit. Lovely, I know. She is unable to speak, or doesn't speak very much, and so she is completely silent. She just looms. She's just a scary figure, but she kind of takes over control of the Brotherhood without banners, Boris and Mir, and all that good stuff. Lady Stoneheart's entire character plotline is then just to seek vengeance on those that betrayed her and killed her family at the Red Wedding. She specifically is on the hunt for Jaime Lannister. And she's mad. She is mad. So yeah, she's out for blood. She's spooky. She can't speak, and she's clawed at her face, and her skin's rotten off of her, and she's got a slit throat, and it's gonna be great. So I'm basing my inspiration for the look on some different fan art images that have popped up over the internet. I will put a few here that I'm kind of basing my look most on. But she is described as having that kind of pale face, her eyes are clawed, so some claw marks and then some rotten flesh, and she's obviously still got the scar, or the kind of incision where she was killed, and yeah, she's just a generally spooky gal. I feel like I resonate with her a lot. As always, everything that I use today is going to be listed down below, as well as all of my social media links. Please make sure you go give me a like and a follow on them, and make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Even though spooky season is finishing, I'm going to try and be more regular with my uploads than I was at the start of the year. Sorry about that again. So obviously during spooky season I've been uploading 2 or 3 times a week. I'm going to try and get back to a regular posting schedule of 1 a week, maybe 2 if I'm feeling inspired or get a wee bit extra time. But I post regularly on my Instagram and my TikTok as well, so please make sure you go give me a follow on them to see regular content if you're going to miss my face. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I'm going to do is sketch out the claw marks on my face. So I'm just using a white eyeliner for this, and I'm actually just using my hands to claw at my face. Obviously not injuring myself, but to get that natural organic shape of where that would happen on my face. Just marking it out with a white pencil, and now I'm going in with some Sculpt Gel. This is a 2-part silicone prosthetic kind of appliance material that you mix A and B together in equal parts, mix it together really well, and it cures and it creates a very kind of realistic flesh material on top of your skin. So I just created a wee mixture of that, and I'm laying it down on either side of that line, building up kind of the thickness of it and the shape of it, and then blending the edges out. I like using a metal spatula for this because once you've kind of applied the Sculpt Gel to the face, I then like take it, wipe off any excess product, dip it in a wee pot of hot water or just lukewarm water, and then use it to blend the edges of the Sculpt Gel into your skin. You can get a really good blend with Sculpt Gel. I kind of wanted it to look quite rough on this makeup because I wanted it to look like in the books she is thrown into the river once she's killed, so I wanted it to look like her skin had kind of rotted away and been sore and stuff like that. So once you let that set and let it cure, mine took maybe about 20 minutes to cure, and I put a hairdryer on it to make it go faster. I did it on either side of my face, and I also created the gash along my neck just to make it look like she had had her throat slit open. Lovely, I know. Then I went in and powdered all the Sculpt Gel down, just using a wee bit of translucent powder. And now I'm going in with a Kryolan TV paint stick in 00. I'm using this colour because although it is extremely pale and it does look white, it does actually have a base of a skin tone in it. So it is a yellow based foundation colour. Even though it looks pure milky white, it isn't. It does have some sort of skin tone to it, but it is just very pale, and that's what Lady Stoneheart is described as being. So I just applied this carefully all over. I applied it first on the areas that didn't have any Sculpt Gel on it. Sculpt Gel is sturdy, but you just do need to be careful with it because it can rip away from the skin. So I applied it to the areas of my face, like my forehead, my nose, my chin, that didn't have Sculpt Gel on it, and then carefully went in around the wounds that I'd created with that same foundation. Then I went in and just set everything down using some translucent powder, just making sure everything was really nice and set in place. And then I'm going in with a red eyeshadow and applying this right down the centre of those claw marks, just to get a base colour going. Now you could use like a grease paint for this. I just chose to use eyeshadow because I had it all in the one palette, and it was just going to be easier. But you could absolutely use like a grease paint or a face paint for this as well. Then I'm going in with a dark burgundy and a black mixed with it, just around the edges to make the gashes on my face look deeper and sore and like they had been there for a long time, and the skin is kind of rotting away from the injury. Delightful, I know. But just going in with a small detail brush just to create that wee bit of extra depth. Then I'm going in with a black eyeshadow base all over my lids, and then just blending that out really roughly using a kind of large fluffy brush and a lighter grey shadow. You don't have to be neat with this, and in fact I actually scrunched my face up and then blended the colour over it to create some expression lines. This is probably the easiest way to place wrinkles or expression lines, because the way that you scrunch your face up is the way that your face naturally scrunches, if that makes sense. So it means that the placement of your wrinkles are going to look realistic instead of fake. Then I'm going in with a black eyeshadow. I'm using all mattes for this. Applying it all over the lid, right underneath my eyebrow there, just to make a wee bit more of a kind of expression. And then doing the same thing, scrunching my eye up and applying that black eyeshadow all over. Ran it along my lower lash line as well. I wanted my eyes to look really sunken in and dark. I mean, you can see from the photos that I showed you earlier on in the intro that, you know, she's not a very nice looking person, this. So the worse you make yourself look, the better. Then I took a kind of cool toned contour shade around the sides of my face. I wanted to make myself look a bit more gaunt, a bit more deathly. So I applied that really into my temples, my hairline, along my jaw. Obviously, because I've got the prosthetics on my cheek, you can't really do the contour lines of your cheekbones, but I just applied that at the top of my ear and blended it ever so slightly forward. Then you're going to pull the Grumpy Cat smile and apply that same colour down the expression lines or the frown lines at the side of your nose and at the side of your lips to make it look like you're constantly frowning. Then I'm taking a black face paint. I'm just using a Snazaroo one, and I'm drawing in some cracks on my skin. So there's not really any rhyme or reason to this. I kind of kept mine mostly around my eye area, and the book's Lady Stoneheart's skin is kind of described as having stretch marks from, you know, where she has screamed or where she's cried so much. So I kind of thought, like, around the eyes, that's usually where the most expression is, so I wanted there to be kind of that withered look around them. Then I went in with that same contour colour and again added some wrinkles because she is an older character, and again you want her to have an expression of some sort, and I also just think wrinkles always make people look mean. Sorry, it's just my opinion. Again, for this I just wrinkled my forehead up and applied that into the creases of my forehead and then relaxed it and blended it out just lightly. Then I'm doing the same thing around my lips, pouting them and applying that grey kind of cool toned eyeshadow around it just to make them look a bit dry and shrunken in. And then I'm going in with that black face paint on, and this is actually a mascara brush, and just kind of wet it down and just flicking it all over my skin just for a wee bit of added texture. And I thought this kind of tied in well with the kind of cracked appearance that, you know, should be speckled. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Then I felt like I was missing something on my forehead, just looking at my face. I was like, no, something's wrong. So I just went in with a tiny wee bit of liquid latex, applied a really thin layer of that, let it dry, and then powdered it. And also just remember that obviously we are doing all of this to our face, but the neck is a pretty important part of this makeup as well. So you just want to do the same steps on your neck as well as your face. Then I went in with Fresh Scratch because I wanted there to be some sort of texture and some sort of like goo behind her skin. Lovely, again, I know. So yeah, I just spatulaed this into the crevices on my face, and I mean I went to town with this because I just thought it looked so good, like that contrast against the white skin tone. It was really something. So plenty of Fresh Scratch, and added a wee bit of wind filler in as well, just for that added a wee bit of texture. Then I just ripped a wee hole in that liquid latex once it was dry, and I'm going in with the same eyeshadows that I used before, just to kind of make it look like an open sore. I don't know, I just felt like I was missing something on my forehead, so I just applied a quick wee latex burn almost, but more like rotten flesh, to be honest. Lovely, I know. So then I'm going in with a dark grey liquid lipstick, and I'm just applying this all over first, blending out the edges and then blending my two lips together. I didn't want the lips to be very precise, but I still wanted it to look like this was like her natural lip colour, so it would still be contained within the lip shape. And then I'm just going in with that dark black eyeshadow and applying that to the centre of the lips as well, just to make them look a bit more sunken in. And I always think this makes them look extra creepy. So then all you need to do is pop in a pair of contacts, and I also tightlined my eyes, and that will be the completed Lady Stoneheart makeup look. As always, everything that I've used today is going to be listed down below, as well as all of my social media links. Please make sure you go and give me a like and a follow on them, and make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. I really hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you have enjoyed spooky season this year. I think the looks that I've done are really great and I'm really proud of them, so I hope you enjoyed them as well. But yeah, I hope you have all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time in the next video. Bye! Nutty leg. That's a nutty leg. I look like a pineapple. Can't speak today. So let's so upset about spooky season being finished. I'm like, ah. Someone called me the Michael Bublé of Halloween the other day, and honestly, I've never been so complimented in all my life. Brotherhood Without Banners, that's what it's called. That's what it's called. It's the last one. The last watermelon. The last watermelon. Sad. I really can't stay. Not Christmas music, Skye Pie. What are you on? Jesus. Bimini! Clap for the bing bang bong. Thank you. This just reminds me of Groot. I kind of look like Emperor Palpatine.